Hey guys, today, now I'm gonna do something completely different from what I've been doing right now in my most recent videos. Today I figured I'm gonna be tackling something that's a little, pardon me, I needed to have a little bit of a drink there. Sorry. So I figured I'm gonna do something that's completely off the cuff, but something that just really occurred to me is I've been sitting around kind of thinking, as some of you may not know, I'm a huge Disney fan, and while there are certainly a lot of Disney movies that I like, some that I'm not too fan of, some, yeah, there's a lot of things to go around. But one thing that kind of struck me that I kind of started thinking about when we think of classic Disney, at least Disney animated classics more specifically, uh, there are times where they have a song or two within said said Disney film that doesn't belong. That doesn't help drive the story. It doesn't help. It doesn't really further much character, nor is, like I said, no further the story. It's just there to, almost feels like it's just there to kind of fill out the runtime. And I figured I'm gonna give you guys 5 songs that from Disney animated classics that I feel could be just completely removed and nobody would miss anything. No, it wouldn't. The story wouldn't miss anything. The character wouldn't lose anything. And we would probably, most of us would have a much better experience with said film. So with that said, I'm gonna start off here with kind of a strange one because in this case there is just, on the first one there's the entire soundtrack, and I had to own up to this because I do like the soundtrack, and believe me, I really do. Uh, but if you were to take the soundtrack out, we wouldn't miss much of anything, and that of course is the soundtrack to Tarzan. Most all the songs obviously sung and written by Phil Collins. But you can pretty much remove everything here, whether it be Son of Man, uh, Two Worlds, Strangers Like Me. While I think those songs are great, they're great Phil Collins songs, they're not great Disney songs. And you could pretty much remove all of them, and I find it very distracting. And it's not because I don't, and then look, it's not because I hate Phil Collins. I think he is one of the most underrated drummers. Go back and listen to his stuff from Brand X as well as the early Genesis days. You will get a wider appreciation for him. But as it is, I think you could remove every single song that he composed for the film and you wouldn't miss anything. So that's gotta come in at the bottom, even though it's a strange place to pick for my number 5. I still think you could pretty much remove that song and nobody would miss anything. So that's one. So it's a strange one to just lump the entire soundtrack in at number 5, but I did it. Okay, next one up, I gotta go with Why Should I Worry from Oliver and Company. Number, and this one is kind of interesting to me because I think it's a solid cheesy 80s pop song, but I still don't think it belongs. It's fine, but as far as doing the Oliver Twist story, set in 1950s New York, where with animals and half humans, is kind of bizarre. I know Disney was at the time throughout the 70s and the 80s were just like, let's just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And to me, yeah, this one sticks. Sticks out like a sore thumb, but it sticks. But I don't really care much for the song. I think it's okay, but it doesn't belong, and it's probably one of the few songs in the album I feel like they would just, okay, we just need to put something here, so we'll just put that one in. So that one's at number 4. Okay, number 3. I gotta go with Fixer Upper from Frozen. Yeah, you can pretty much take out that song from the Trolls, and I wouldn't lose sleep over it. I think it's incredibly dumb. I just don't really care much for it, and it's like 2.5 minutes. I could easily hit the skip button on. So yeah, like I said, it doesn't do much for me. I don't think it really drives much character anymore than we already knew before and would come to know after. So that one comes in at number 3. Okay, coming in at number 2. This was pretty much the first one I've reached for. Lost in the Woods from Frozen 2. It's strange that I put both the Frozen sequels, both Frozen movies on the list, but here we are. Yeah, I think it was just put in there just to kind of have a little bit of a gag for the adults. That's aesthetically to have it set like in late 90s, early 2000s boy band video. I think it's just way too dumb, and like I said, I think it's just way too stupid. I think it's just way too dumb. I mean, you can pretty much make the argument for both Fixer Upper and Lost in the Woods to be at number 1, or number 2, number 3, or what have you. I really don't really care much for any of them, so that one's coming in next. But of course, coming in at number 1 for me, it is, without question, it has to be A Guy Like You from Hunchback of Notre Dame. I've hated this song since the first day I saw this back when I was a kid. It's pretty much, I mean, it's enough that the gargoyles aren't funny even to begin with, but now they have a musical number, and yeah, I'm surprised that the VHS tape didn't get completely worn out on that section, because I used to fast forward this when I was 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think it's way too stupid, and it doesn't belong. It doesn't belong at all. I mean, even the gargoyles in of themselves doesn't really serve much of a purpose anyway. So yeah, that is like the 5 Disney songs that I wish could be removed. So quick through: A Guy Like You, Lost in the Woods, Fixer Upper, Why Should I Worry, the entire Phil Collins soundtrack. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna close out, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to also join in on the conversation. I'd love to hear your feedback, so on things that I can do better, maybe other topics that you would like me to cover. And like I said, make sure to share this so we can get more people into this. So because you know what I say, the more the merrier.